Hello and welcome to Bert's Imperfect Bakes, the channel where it's okay to not bake perfectly every time. I'm Bert and today we're going to be making some biscuits. First of all, happy Mother's Day to mothers everywhere. Hope you enjoyed last week's Mother's Day episode and that you're having a lovely day so far. So, back to biscuits. We're going to be making 3 different flavours of biscuits from the same basic biscuit dough. We're going to be making coffee and vanilla flavour, lemon and chocolate chip. All the ingredients are listed in the description below. First of all, we're going to make the dough. No need to preheat your oven just yet. Get your butter and sugar and mix together. It should be nice and smooth like this. Add an egg yolk and mix some more. Now add the flour, but first of all, we need a sieve. Give that a good mix. Now the reason I left it crumbly because we're making 3 different flavours and I'm separating them into 3 bowls, as you can see. Naughty. So before combining into a complete dough ball, I'm going to add some chocolate chips to this one. Bring it all together with your hands into a nice ball. Once that's done, pop it to one side. Now the next mixture, I'm going to make it lemon flavoured. Grate the zest of 1 lemon into the dough. Make sure it's all in there. And give that a mix. Again, get your hands in there to shape it into a ball. Once that's done, pop it next to its neighbour, the chocolate chip dough ball. Now the final one is going to be coffee and vanilla. If I can open the coffee essence. Add half a teaspoon of coffee essence. And knock it over. And add a teaspoon of vanilla. Mix that well. It's now quite a wet dough because of the extra liquid content, so add a bit of flour. A bit more. Some more. And a lot more flour just to make it drier dough. Mix it all in. And then you should be able to put it into a ball. Like this. Now, struggle with the cling film. They don't make it easy, do they? Get yourself 3 pieces. Or however many versions of dough you're making. And wrap each ball into the cling film, flattening it as you go so it's a nice square shape. Even cooling and easier to roll later. Once they're all done, pop them in the freezer for about 30 to 40 minutes, and about 10 minutes before that, there's Molly, preheat your oven to 160 fan. Once you've taken them out of the freezer, it's time to start shaping into biscuit. So get your dough on a lightly floured surface, flour your rolling pin and roll. Get your favourite biscuit cutter and cut into shapes. Place on your magic floating baking tray. And once you've got a full tray, pop that in the oven so that you can have an even bake with all the biscuits and bake one tray at a time. Oh, and prepare your baking trays with some baking paper. Continue rolling with the next ball of dough. More biscuit shape cutting. That's me remembering to put the first tray in the oven. Second tray. And the final one, now because it was chocolate chips, it was too thick to roll. So instead I decided to turn it into balls. Tiny cookie dough balls. Like so. Once they're shaped into balls like this, flatten them so they don't bake as ball shaped. Some instructions there. Now time to decorate. It's entirely up to you how you decorate them, but I'm going to do half moons of chocolate on the coffee ones, which is just melting 60 grams of chocolate and dipping them in. It's a good idea to get a tray or some sort underneath so that they don't drip. For the lemon ones, I'm making some icing out of icing sugar, obviously, and some lemon juice. Only add a bit at a time. Until you get a nice runny consistency. And decorate. Again, I just did half moons. Remember the drip tray. Once they're all decorated, I decided to add some silver balls. Bit carried away with that one. And you have to work quickly with this because the icing does dry pretty quickly. That's me forcing some balls to stick to the very first one I did. So after multiple oven turns for each tray individually to cook, I pulled them out after 12 minutes, so they were still pale and not quite golden because they will burn very quickly. And then once they were cooled, we decorated them. So these are lemon ones, half decorated with lemon icing, chocolate chip cookie-ish shaped, and the coffee and vanilla flavour with dark chocolate half moon topping. So I'll give this one a sample. Quite a strong flavour. Coffee, chocolate, palate cleanser, chocolate chip cookie, now this is good because it's still doughy inside, so it's kind of like cookie dough, slightly cooked. And this tiny face, two tiny balls, eyes, palate cleanser. Very lemony. Good. So there you have it, 3 different types of biscuit from one biscuit dough, 3 different flavours. So I'm gonna go and finish these off. See you later. We're making 3 flavours. We're going for